But of course, it's Spiderman as well. Actually, was kind of popping off on Spiderman.
21k. He's on the menace.
Okay, I said emergency Spider-Man. This is we're not this doomed, are we? Like, there's just no way. There's a reason nobody plays Spider-Man and Duelist Deadpool. It's mostly the Vanguard and the Strat pool that comes out.
Are we going to continue to see this like same ban line towards the chosen ones where you just try and get rid of all of 21k's Thanos picks and force them towards someone like a Spider-Man? As well as they continuously bleed so many players, and out comes the Rampage. Just the closer. All the healing's gone. In but a moment, you blink and you miss it. You blink and they're gone. Oh, Fire Strays. They've been put in the kennel. Oh my goodness, the chosen ones have absolutely dominated them.
And Closer got put on a leash, and not the first time. This invisible boundary has to be placed immediately to get some stabilization for this team. Nas is already trying to get kidnapped by Haster, and now the healing is on the side of Fire Strays against the Kumio form of 7 Minute.
7 minute. Oh, crazy. How many are we going to be able to wait here inside of the invisible boundary? It should be fairly easy to try and take down Crazy with the amount of damage that's going to be coming their way. An attempt at a mid-air grab. Got someone, but I'm not sure whom. I think actually the Captain America might have got that midway through. Binary goes monster mode. It's trying to break the world. It's time to break the chosen ones. But unfortunately, Fire Strays are being broken over the knee of 21k. It might have been a little bit quiet so far, but it's getting loud enough for me to take notice now. A quick Sanctuary from 7 minute. Crazy's got the healing still to do. 21k is going to be coming back with a Spider-Man of all things. A quick swing into the fight to try and make something happen. And there's no way to get back onto a point here for Binary. Bruce Banner sees no mercy. And Soppo's here on the Cloak and Dagger. A moment of the Dark Force teleportation gives them a touch of sustainability. And there's still an Eternal Bond as well. But Haster's here to chase. Drags them from their ultimate. The damage is going to be strong. Can they return to it in time? Tenacity gives them all the movement that they need. But guess what? 21k is feeling spectacular. Oh, the friendly neighborhood is gone, and the indestructible guard can't save you for long against the menace that J. Jonah Jameson demands the pictures of. I want pictures of Spider-Man. I want pictures of victory. And I want to know who this chosen one is, who dares to stand against Fire Strays, and they make them look foolish on Celestial Husk.
Oh my god, what a marathon of a fight, and Chosen Ones take the map over Fire Strays, the new team to join here in Stage 1 Ignite, and they come in blasted. I can't believe that. 21k, the multi-kills throughout these fights on the Daredevil was just incredible. And the coordination, I mean, Haster is looking incredible also on the Dino, kidnapping everyone from Sloppo from his own Eternal Bond, which I guess he swapped to Cloak and Dagger, to even grabbing him midair when he was on the Star-Lord. Like, Chosen Ones are insane on how they're able to play off of this tempo that seems to be never ending, forcing out mistakes from Fire Strays, and Closer not having the invisible boundary really set Fire Strays back. But they'll have choice of map. We'll find out what that is after this.
Close somewhere there, but 21k also looked pretty amazing, you could say, Lemon.
Yeah, emergency Spider-Man, by the way. Like, just got to the point lightning fast, but was lightning fast on the Daredevil, claiming so many multi-eliminations throughout these fights. And I think it was a huge part of working in tandem with Haster. I think it's been a coordination thing, a synergy thing from the Chosen One side of how they've been able to build up this roster. And especially on a map like Domination, your comms have to be clean, and it was just cleaner from Chosen Ones. Fire Strays just had mistakes forced out, whether it's Closer who didn't use the invisible boundary at the end, Sloppo who hesitated in the 1v1 Galactic Legend against Crash. Like, Fire Strays, I think, lacked confidence against the team that really suffocated them if they didn't act quick enough.
We're looking at an end of the day today with the Chosen Ones at the top of their group, potentially, Lemon, which I don't think many of us would have seen coming. Black Cat going to be banned away from Fire Strays. I believe that Gambit's already been banned away from both sides. Predictably, Devil Dinosaur is back on the menu.
Yeah, Fire Strays are going to protect that and hopefully iron that out. That was being traded between Blackso and Binary in the past, and it's all going to be depending on who's the second Vanguard. If they want to run a more front to back with the EMEA, then Binary Dinos. If they want to run a more hybrid, kind of half dive, half dino, then Binary will go to the Cap and Blackso will be on the Dinos. So Fire Strays, I'm sure they learned a lot from that first map, but also hopefully they keep composed after, you know, some fights didn't go their way when it should have.
Yeah, like there were a couple of fights that went their way and then they invested some ultimates, and then they invested some ultimates and the fights didn't go their way. Sometimes you just roll those natural ones, and FFrisky seem to be putting a lot of emphasis here on trying to shut down 21K. Don't know what 21K plays outside of those melee duelists, and making sure that we're swapping over onto Mantis to just pocket Crash here is not going to be an option. Groot has been protected. This is very much a Blackso mainstay.
Absolutely is. Now this is telling us more that front-to-back style, and now Chosen Ones will have to start thinking about counters in terms of how you're going to bring down those walls where, I mean, it was usually JDX that was playing in here on Museum, running the Phoenix, and that was always a good option, and they're going to choose to at least ban that from Fire Strays and potentially have a one-sided Phoenix, all depending on what is Crazy's hero pool, who's mostly known for the strategist at least.
Mostly known for those. Admittedly, like, we've seen them swap over onto like a tracking base or like a Starlord, like a Punisher's not too far of a leap from that, and if they do like playing the Lunar Snow as well, the Phoenix, like the one-sided Phoenix, could definitely be a big boon here, because we know that Sloppo and Damon are both pretty solid on the Phoenix as well. I think that's a high-value ban from the Chosen Ones to be heading towards our map. It's going to be the Chosen Ones defending first.
So we'll be able to lock in on their composition where Crazy returns on the Star-Lord, which was very well supported, and despite being a quote strategist player, he was the one that kind of led a lot of these fights, speaking of Crash, with confidence. I like that he was ulting before, and he was ulting as soon as he could in these fights, which had Fire Strays always reacting instead of being proactive. And that's really what hurt Fire Strays in terms of just spacing, because Fire Strays had to constantly hide away from the storm that is the Galactic Legend. Fire Strays are going to have not only just the Moon Knight to break out of spawn, but the Punisher to deal with the Groot walls. And we'll see how Fire Strays deal with the upcoming defense.
Done by Deadpool, age 32. 21K definitely showing like some baby Crazy Kitty looks here, being able to move everyone to the Ultra after being mostly a melee duelist that we've seen so far. But what I'm going to be interested in here is, of course, the old classic combo of the Groot and the Moon Knight. For now, it seems like the Chosen Ones are not really giving away too much free poke early to try and allow that to build up.
Yeah, just this Moon Knight is just such overwhelming amounts of damage, and as you try to run away, that's the exact position that Groot wants you to be in. He will not let you escape. These walls are perfect out of Blackso.
All right, Sloppo, good accuracy. And sometimes you don't need to be accurate. That's the beauty of Moon Knight. You can have two speeds here, but chasing down Coco definitely is going to be gas for Sloppo. Do they want to try and challenge the Ultron here? Seems like it's a tricky portal coming through from Crash. Big grab. Oh, but just in time.
Oh, but now you don't have one of your strategists. 21K gets picked, caught a stray, I guess, and Fire Strays have a strangling prison coming up. If they can win this fight without ults, that would be amazing for Fire Strays, but now, oh my god, Blackso proves why they protected the Groot.
Yeah, 3 squishies within. This is Blackso's signature hero if they had to have one. Binary just catching some poke, looking at his healers like, ow, heal me? Maybe. It's not still closer. Like, this backline is not the most conventional. It is very, like, gas. You know, it's all damage, 2 Cosmic Yarn amplifiers, and 21K. He's on the menace.
Okay, I said emergency Spiderman. This is we're not this doomed, are we? Like, there's just no way. You're trying to really toss people up on the Fire Stray side, but they can play clumped around the Dino. It's gonna be really hard for 21K to find value, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. If you get close to Demon on the Punisher, though, the shotgun is gonna hurt a lot, but drags people away from the fight.
Wait, hold on. Maybe 21K is a little bit built different. Has forced out the greens here off the back of this dive. Rolling forward now. Demon's going to be doing basically unlimited damage with the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier and the Final Judgment. But for the Chosen Ones, they've done a really good job of disengaging here. Fire Strays may have pulled the trigger a touch earlier. They could disengage without any real speed boost to their name. Still, the Hands of Khonshu will go on down, but Snosty's too late to actually give any amplification over to that Moon Knight. Finally, they will return, courtesy of the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier. That one might actually have been a copied Cosmic Yarn Amplifier as well. Crash, looking for victim, is temporarily grounded and is maybe permanently grounded by the Devil Dinosaur, as the follow-up is going to be there. The forest has been drawn up here by Blackso, and the trees will have their day.
And Binary had said that they were confident in the changes they made from yesterday into today. 2 very swift caps, and hey, gifted some extra eliminations there at the end, and may just be stalled out actually from momentum. The eliminations are going Chosen One's way, but Fire Strays will have respawn advantage. So this is more about just farming ult charge for Chosen Ones and being managing to disengage without being staggered out anymore. But Fire Strays strangling Prison won't have the Moon Knight combo, but could still do a lot of damage if Chosen Ones continue to just be out macroed here.
Oh, closer, caught in 21k. Sad to see, but that's exactly what the Spider-Man does. Perfect assassin character. And Binary, bro's looking like Shaq behind a poplar tree right now. That wall is too thin for you to hide behind, buddy.
And you see Chosen Ones are still trying to get their bearings. They're on both sides of the objective, by the way. Fire Strays are getting spawn camped, I guess.
Oh, Slopper managed to take out Crash, but Haster's so deep right now using their Rampage. Yeah, the damage is good, but the healing's not really going to be there. Still 21k gets this one. Bro's been watching too many Necro streams. I see that tier 3 sub badge. I know what you are. Out comes the Freedom Charge from Coco, trying to make sure that everyone is going to be safe. However, they're nowhere near Blackso's ultimate. Everyone needed that additional HP to try and survive a strangling prison. Saw a lot of mobility gets used by Coco. Goes like, you know what? I see the opportunity.
Decent cope that I can give Chosen One's fans is that at least you trapped Fire Strays and spawn long enough to take out some of this time, but now you've gifted them 5 ultimates coming into this next fight. And there's only, what, a fate of both worlds to give you that much of a cushion of survivability. Fire Strays are just speed running this, and the Spider-Man still hasn't gotten that pick potential that they were hoping for.
Okay, still has access to the Galactic Legend. Crash getting up closer personal. Here comes the damage-boosted Final Judgment, and it's so difficult to work against this. Coco goes like, I'll bring up my shield. Nah, you won't, mate. Not for a second.
Oh my God.
The Kubio is a little bit, let's say, optimistic, going up against the dual miniguns of Franklin Castle.
Was not expecting this level of a crash out from Chosen Ones. Like, this is about to be like a record fast pace from Fire Strays, who have really not lost a beat since, what, the end of the first point. But Chosen Ones, it's going to have to be a big Spider-Man ult from 21k or this is over.
Another Cosmic Yarn Amplifier makes the approach of 21k so difficult to deal with. 99% on their spectacular spin as well. Who can possibly come close? The answer is going to be no one. It's no surprise that this is Fire Stray's map pick as they look dominant on map number 2.
And now you're maybe starting to feel the pain of not having JDX in the lineup and maybe not having this wealth of a hero pool of different swaps that you can go to if you're Chosen Ones. And I don't want to harp on the Spider-Man too much. I think they get enough of it in my ranked games. So I'm going to just, you know, give some props to Fire Strays on how they're able to maintain momentum. It was the damage pressure of having a Moon Knight Punisher, which is just insane amounts of DPS. And as Chosen Ones are on the back foot, Blackso is one of the best groups that we have here in EMEA. So he always had a wall behind the Haster's Dino or whatever it was on the other side. And Fire Strays were always catching them is trying to escape, and it shows in the level of casualties that Chosen Ones really have suffered. And Fire Strays just kept they kind of just kept swimming throughout the map. I didn't really feel too much of a pushback.
I'm happy to see 7 Minute with a swap here. Not gonna lie, against the double poke of Punisher and Moon Knight, White Fox is not a great hero. Like, she is a very strong hero in her niche of being able to, like, get rid of dives and make sure that when it comes to melee combat in the backline, you're generally going to win. But against that much, like, damage down the range, the poke of Groot, she does not excel. And this is where Luna can get a lot more done, as well as have some greater triage. Oh, 21k is going to be playing the... Okay, going to be playing the Strategist Deadpool. I think they're probably going to swap to their Duelist Deadpool once they're leveled up.
And 21k having his Black Cat band is another level of this, who's now on the strat pool. Coco at least will return on the Emma just like he did on the previous map, and Crash will do some LARPing of JDX on the Phoenix, and it's going to be a big tool to try and take down these Groot walls. That was such a thorn in Chosen One's side.
Okay, quick upgrade to headshot, I imagine, here to send it down the lane and just do unlimited value off the back of this. However, already is using their final exam. Oh my goodness, that's a very early jackpot. Well managed here by 21K. Still, Fire do a good job of disengaging. Binary has to be careful to stay within the line of sight of their strategists, though. And this is allowing Xnost and Close to build up towards their ultimates mighty quick.
Okay, the Emma's starting to flip the Dido, and then there's the grab from Aster to get these Vanguards off of his fellow Vanguard, and the reses come through for Fire Strays. They'll need a breath in their lungs very soon, and Blackso hoping to snuff the life out of Chosen Ones.
Four players inside. Here comes the culling aura of Sloppo, but there is going to be plenty of healing coming through from Crazy's healing puddle. Oh, and Sloppo, not many chances to reset here as they're grabbed from their party by Crazy. Is unlikely to be allowed home. Hello. Didn't quite make it. Oh, that's sad. To truly break a man, Lemon, you must give him hope first.
But was that worth? You didn't have Crazy heals, like literally his heals throughout this fight, and Fire Strays won it. So that was all on a Luna, which can only flake one person and then try to do as much single target healing as possible, and then also never pop the Fate of Both Worlds. Like, Chosen Ones gave up on that fight, and they're just not very coordinated right now. So Chosen Ones now half the time bank gone, and you're looking towards a Rampage, a Sonic Seduction, and Fire Strays half the space out against this. That's why they're playing this back corner. Then you have the Judge, the Jury, and the Executioner of Demon, who has gotten so much value out of this ultimate. So Coco needs a good shield against this, and there's no other answer.
All right, trying to force 7 minutes ultimate early here using the Devil Dino Rampage. What a wall from Coco to try and keep Damon and Binary constrained. Can you break through the ultimate of the Phoenix? No, it gets rid of Snot's Cosmic Yarn Amplifier. There was no focused fire onto it. Oh, that's a massive strangling prison, though. Oh, Blackso's just built different on his signature hero. And guess where Damon was this entire time, resurrected up on the high ground. The Vanguard don't know what to do. 2 miniguns on a pillar. What the bro gonna do now? Crazy just gonna try and run away. The homing missiles are all over him. Crash has got nowhere to go as the Predator drone circles overhead.
Man, you made Fire Strays angry, taking away domination like this. And man, if they're mad, they're playing good bad. Now, Sloppo has the Kraken Impact coming up. If you can get some good initial damage in, he will also unleash a lot rise on Crazy and 7 minutes to just keep the heals up. As 21K's on the Vanguard Deadpool now instead of the Strat one, and just have the 2-2-2 setup as Chosen Ones can try to close the gap with the Venom, trying to draw them in with the Charm, but Fire Strays, they're just trying to set up Sloppo for success.
Close to the Katana dashes now for the duelist Deadpool. 21K don't want to use it though with Coco down, knowing that they are only going to get one chance at this with only 30 seconds remaining. A little bit of softening coming through from Hasta. 21K still playing this a little bit more reserved, like they want a couple more upgrades before we really commit to this one. But you're on a timer because Blackso is so close to building up yet another ultimate. 67% is nothing to begrudge.
There's so many walls up too from Blackso. Chosen Ones are trying to play out of range, and someone just got kidnapped.
Is that the gun ultimate from 21K in duelist Deadpool form? Oh yeah, the punishment is there. Oh, the extra damage, the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier. Yeah, your fourth wall might be strong, but the power Cosmic is a touch stronger. Hasta does their best to keep on this car, but down goes the overtime, down goes the Luna, and down goes the hopes that the Chosen Ones had of stopping Fire here and now. On their map pick, they look a lot cleaner.
Fire Strays send us to map 3, and yeah, well, just off of a stronger neutral. That's all I gotta say. Didn't even need the Kraken Impact. The solo strangling prison is Aura from Blackso, and just Dido supremacy from the Fire Stray side. And yeah, I called it my bad on the Vanguard Deadpool. It's just we've never heard of duelist Deadpool before, and 21K is trying to bring out all the pocket strats, if you will, and Chosen Ones will have to think about what their map 3 will look like after this.
Well, we've had 2 of our series today already go to a map 3, but this one's very different than the last one, especially with Fire Strays taking the win here. Like, it felt like we saw a bit of a weakness in terms of the hero pool, no puns intended there, for the side of this Chosen Ones roster after the ban of 21K, you know, the MVP we saw, and I'd say like not SVP, but whatever like the lower end of that would be, LVP, I don't know.
Least valuable player, I don't know. Blackstar looking very good here on the signature hero of the group, going 31-2, which when you're going up against a Devil Dinosaur as a Vanguard is very difficult to do, but was absolutely pumping out the damage and often getting 4, 3, or 5 people inside the Strangling Prisons, and those were some very squishy, easy to frag members of the Chosen Ones.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's very difficult to have a low amount of casualties as a fellow group main, because especially when you're facing EMEA and Dino, there are 2 people that can grab you, and Blackstar just played around his anti-CC wall well, but always had Chosen Ones running away from him, which is the best position you want a group to be in. And to play against an EMEA and still get at least 3 in your Strangling Prison, like Blackstar, it just identifies these situations to max out the value on the group. And then there just wasn't anyone taking down his walls ever, or at least that just wasn't a priority on the Chosen One side, because Blackstar was using it more as ceilings than isolations in these neutral fights, and that's really where Firestray shined, was in these neutrals.
Bro,
also just having the like backline here. Yeah, oh yeah, the damage blocks.
Do be blocking.
Oh man, I do want to mention though, like the backline here though for the Loki and Rocket. I feel like we've been seeing a lot of that recently in this patch, specifically because of like the buffs that we saw to Rocket specifically, and Zenost actually not going down a single time is kind of crazy to see throughout the Museum of Contemplation. Usually we at least have some sort of casualties coming through here, and they actually were able to remain up the entire time.
Yeah,
it's very impressive.
And yeah, Chosen Ones, now they were the ones trying to swap up their Vanguard line from Venoms to Emmas to everything, and just ultimately it was just the lack of damage that came out. There's a reason nobody plays Spider-Man and Duelist Deadpool. It's mostly the Vanguard and the Strat pool that comes out, and it was really the banned phase that favored Firestrays. They banned both Black Cat and Daredevil, which is the bread and butter of someone like 21K, and also Chosen Ones are not running their main Duelist, so they're really starting to suffer if they don't have a big enough hero pool.
Welcome in, Binary. Congratulations on the victory. Could definitely see, you know, the difference from domination to the latter half of the series. What made you guys lock in after that first map was dropped?
I mean, after the first map, we lost. We realized we had to kind of target ban 21K to take the victory. So, like the second map, it was probably really hard for them to play and uncomfortable because 21K was kind of out of heroes. Like he's like known for his Daredevil and Cat, but of course it's Spiderman as well. Actually, it was kind of popping off on Spiderman, but probably not too much scrim time on this. So definitely, I think we got them caught off guard there. But yeah.